season 3. We're back.
Return of the Jedis. Oh, when I fell? I don't recall that. Actually.
We don't need easy. We just need fun. Punching this other guy. He gets on the ground. He starts kicking him.
Just remember walking away like I probably shouldn't have done that. You know?
Like, what the hell? Like, there's like a dog biting your wrist. Hi. Welcome back.
A little nervous.
Come over a little bit over here. It's been 84 years since we've done this. No, but I'm very happy to be back. I was very excited to start recording again. Literally, you should see my notes. So many things to talk about.
We might be here. We might have to cancel our plans tonight.
Yeah, so many things to talk about. We're going to have to do like part 7 of the return of the friends.
Return of the Jedis.
Return of the Jedis. I don't watch Star Wars, but I'll let you
one of the titles.
Have that. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. This is our second time seeing each other since I've been back from Italy. I don't know if you noticed, but the first time when you came over, he literally came over with Nicolette the day I got back.
Which I felt bad to do, but like I also know you don't give a fuck.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm like, is she tired? Like I was asking other people, I'm like, you think Fia's gonna be tired? Like, should we come?
No. As long as we were just staying at my house.
But I wanted to. I was like, I miss these guys. I'm like, it's been, because not only were you gone for like almost a month, right? How long?
I was gone for 15 days.
Oh, 15 days? Damn, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got confused by your dad's text when you sent your dad's text or something like that.
Oh, Nata posted that.
Yeah, and then I got confused because he's like, oh, you guys were gone for 4 weeks or some shit like that. So
but you guys were gone a month, and then we had like 3 days together, basically.
Right, the wedding. Yeah. We had like the wedding.
Yeah,
and then you guys left. So it's almost like we
have been away from each other for 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, though, when you guys came over, I didn't really talk much to you. Because I was like, I can't tell stories yet.
Say swear to God, I didn't realize that.
I was like, I can't tell stories yet. I literally told the whole story just looking at Beta and Liz.
Yeah.
And like,
was I paying attention?
You were talking to somebody else. I was like, perfect timing. I'm like, perfect timing because I want to hold this for the podcast. Yeah. But yeah, people have been asking. 5 people at the wedding were like, when's the podcast?
Right. A lot of people have been asking me too, which just makes you happy.
Yeah. So for you 5 people, we're back. Thank you.
Yeah, we're back.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys, because... It's for you guys.
This is for you. This is for our friends. But seriously, ask Nanta throughout Italy. I was like, write that down. Put that in my notes. I have to tell Samir that.
I got to do that. No, I should have done that.
I think about you all the time.
Really?
You never think about me. No, I'm just joking.
No, I think about you guys.
But since we've last spoke, we've done a lot. So we've been to Mexico. We still haven't talked about Mexico.
Yeah. That's what I was telling Nicolette. I'm like, you're living the fucking dream. I'm like, you're going to Mexico 5 days. Or no, we went camping because we also went camping. We got to talk about that too, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then, or we might just have to skip that. I don't know if we're going to have time. And then, but yeah, we did the camping and like home for 3 days. You guys went to Mexico. She was home for 2 days. And then we went to Europe. Yeah. Come back and then it was the wedding.
Yeah. Completely
awesome.
Crazy. Yeah. So we went to Mexico. Then you guys went to Europe. And then we had the wedding. And then I went to Italy, Robert went to Italy, Liz went to Italy, Beta and Dom went to Switzerland and Ireland, and crazy. Just
love it.
a lot going on. So Mexico, we can skip Mexico. A lot happened there. We had so much fun. There's not really much to tell.
Right.
Besides the fact, did we tell you that they tried to cut us off one day?
What do you mean?
As a group?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think Nicolette told me.
Yeah, they tried to cut us off. They're like, no shots today. You guys got too crazy. And I was like, fucking pissed. Yeah. And they're like, for your group. And
like, how can you cut people off on an all-inclusive?
Well, and here's the thing. We were not too crazy. We literally cleaned up after ourselves, made the chairs nice. We helped them get ready for the event later on in the day. You know what I'm saying? So we were not messed up, And the person ahead of me that ordered a shot was Nicole Weaver, who was in our group, and he was like, your group can't have shots. I'm like, well, you just gave a shot to our group. Yeah. So this isn't making sense,
What the fuck?
And I was like, also, you kept feeding us the shots. They just kept bringing shots over.
Without even being ordered. It was just like, them. Right.
Exactly. So, no. And then I was like, he's like, okay, I'll give you one shot. Well, one shot. I was like, no. I'm like, you don't give us any shots yet. I was like, you tell whoever told you can't give us shots to come over here. And when he gets here, send him over to us, and then we'll talk to him.
Right.
I was like, because I don't want one shot. You think you're doing me a favor. You're not going to do me favors. No. We're going to order what we want, That was a small little hiccup. But then we went to this club in Mexico, Cancun, Mexico. If anyone ever goes, it's called Ilios. So sick. We got to,
I've seen a bunch of people post
on the bar. We got to throw plates into a bucket. It was crazy. It was wild.
It's like a chest, isn't it?
Like, yeah, it was like a chest. Yeah, like a treasure chest. So we got to do that. It was really such a fun experience. I'm really happy we did that. We were a little nervous to leave the resort, but we were really safe about it. Beta got ride there, ride back. It was amazing.
Fucking awesome. I'm glad everything went good on that trip too.
Yeah, that was Mexico. Camping, I really can't recall much from camping. Yeah. Not because we were so messed up. Besides when...
Oh, when I fell? Dude. I don't recall that. I actually don't.
No, honestly, every time I think about that, I cry laughing because so Samir, we were all playing games at a table. And Samir was sleeping in a chair, and
we were all at first sitting on the chairs,
sitting in the chairs,
and I fell asleep, and then you guys all got up to play
a game,
like
at
flip
a
cup or some shit.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. Okay. And we're all playing this game. We're under the canopy thing, and Samir's by himself. No one's paying attention to him. And I see Bonnie over in the corner with a flashlight on. And I'm like, Bonnie, what are you doing? I'm like, what's Bonnie doing? And Bonnie just has the thing is, he wasn't checking on you. Yeah. He was taking a picture of you, which is even funnier.
Yeah.
And Samir's just flat on his back, like as if he meant to be there with his hand behind his head, like hand on stomach. It was the funniest thing. He literally
You can put the picture up.
Yeah, I can put the picture up. Yeah. But then you also saw like one shoe in one area, one shoe in another area, and like saw the trail of like how he got there. And the thing is no one would have noticed until we went to bed.
Right.
Like Nicola would have been like, "Where's Samir going?" Would have been like, "Oh, he's on the floor." If it weren't for Bonnie. But the funny part is that Bonnie was just taking a picture.
Right.
Like checking on you. There was that, and then the next night you fell asleep again in a chair.
Yeah.
And
I heard Chris was like fucking with me and shit.
Yeah, he was kissing you on the forehead. And that video is
I don't know. I blacked out, dude. I don't remember that.
That video is so funny. I'm going to post that video here so you guys can see it too. But oh man, I was crying laughing.
Yeah, that was a great camping trip.
Really good camping trip. It rains every time we go, but it's just kind of part of the
But it didn't rain on the river at all,
Not
though,
on the
right?
river. The river was hot and it was so nice. So it's just part of the experience now, I guess. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's really not that bad when it does, honestly.
Yeah,
like
it's not. It probably would be like easier, if
of
it
course,
didn't rain.
Right.
But
a little more comfortable.
We don't need easy. We just need fun.
Right.
Okay, so I want you to tell me, you went to, 3 places in Europe?
Yeah, so we went to France for 5 days, then went to Montenegro for 8, and then Ireland for 8.
And what was your favorite part?
It's hard to say, but I think Ireland only, but also we finished off on Ireland. Yeah. So like my mind goes to Ireland, but like the 5 days in like Paris, like we stayed in Paris the whole time. Mm-hmm. We ventured out a little bit, but like we only had one Airbnb there in Paris. And like we said, like this 5 days in Paris was like literally perfect.
Yeah.
Like went like amazing, and we're like, thank God, like off to a great start, like blah, blah, blah. So, and then obviously Montenegro was like most of the, like say 80% of the time, like we were with family, which was nice. Cause like Nicola got to meet I have like a shit ton of family there. Nicola got to meet all of my family and I got to meet like her dog, which she never met her dog, and nice. Then her 2 tizzes, but one of them she met, the other one, no. And then her grandpa, which Nicolette saw when she was like 2 or 3, like doesn't remember, technically met him.
Yeah.
So it was just nice. Like, great experience there. And then, Ireland, fucking, it's like, we need to go back. Yeah. But as a group, we need to go back.
I was watching.
I'll go back. Like,
yeah. I was in Italy watching Beta and Dom's stories, thinking to myself, I want to be with them so bad. Like, obviously, I was fucking enjoying myself.
Happy, yeah.
But, like, I just know we would all thrive there. It would be a great trip for everybody there. So,
what's funny? You said thrive. Like, I was literally talking to Nicolette's dad. And I'm like, you would thrive there. That's what I told him. Yeah. Because, like, he's such a chill guy, too. Like, and, like, he'll drink and, like, this and that. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, but also we're on vacation.
Yeah.
So it's also different.
Well,
like, if you live there, motherfuckers got to go to work. So it is a little different. Like, we're there straight, just traveling.
Yeah.
So, but
just
man,
like a good experience to be in. Because, like, when you go to, like, different parts of Europe, that, like, people don't love that you're there. The people that live there don't love that you're there, Like, the amount of taxi drivers that told us, like, I can't wait for the season to be over, like October 1st, really, I'm done, like, I can't wait, like basically just telling us, like, please go home, you know?
Yeah.
They were nice about it, but I feel like in Ireland, you guys didn't get that. Like people just.
No, super friendly.
Yeah.
Like, so France was like, no one was rude to us.
Yeah.
We didn't have any other than one waiter, but I liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You said that, yeah.
And then, but no one was rude, but no one went out of their way at all to be nice.
Right.
Like I kind of equate it to like how like New Yorkers, like they when they're walking on the street, they don't notice you. They're looking through you.
Yeah.
They're just walking past you, you know? So like, as guys, like you do the nod. I don't know if I told you this, but I'm like, guys, you do the nod. Like in Paris, not one person. I can't help it.
Yeah.
I just look at people like, hey, what's up? Like, hello.
In Italy, do you know how many people I smiled at?
Yeah. Really? Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Were like,
right.
Okay,
right. They're like, we don't know you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's how like France was. And then, but they didn't even notice me nod.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that
they're being rude.
They're
it's
just not even looking at me.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then, but Ireland, I remember like the first time we were walking on the street because we rented the car like from like the airport pretty much. So like right when we park, whatever, get into our hotel. So right away we started to venture out. The first guy I see on the sidewalk, I like look at him and like he does the nod, I do the nod, and then he's like, hello, like whatever, like, oh,
American?
And I'm like, oh, thank God. Yeah. No, it wasn't American.
Oh, it wasn't American.
No, like was Irish,
oh,
but
in Ireland.
But in Ireland, yeah. And then like,
you just
I was like,
home.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone was super friendly there.
Yeah.
They don't hesitate when they hear your American accent. Like,
That's so nice. That's really nice. Yeah. So we started in Rome, and the first day, it's God, traveling. It's so crazy how you start in one point of the world and then you're just in another. Like the fact that I was in Italy at 7 a.m. and then I was here at 3 p.m. and then had like half.
It's like time traveling almost.
It is. I say it kind of is time traveling because like I had more time than anybody else that day.
Right.
Did I?
Well,
technically.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you came back in time. Yeah, when you come to America.
Yeah.
Right. And like, there is truth behind that because they say like for example, for you to get to Europe back in the day, you'd have to take like a ship. It would take you a month. I don't know how long, a month, whatever. Right. So the fact that you can get there in a day now or less than a day, 6 hours, 6, 7, 8 hour flight, you are like passing time. Like you technically shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
For another month.
Yeah.
Like if you were to equate it to like boating.
No, I get you.
But, and the reason I say it kind of is like time travel because there's like theories that if you go the speed of light, you go back in time.
Yep.
If you can go that fast.
Isn't it like Superman running around the world or something? Isn't it like a thing?
I know.
Like something.
I know Superman running around the world is a thing. I don't know if that's.
I think it has something to do like if he goes fast enough, like he'll go.
Or the world will stop, wouldn't it? Like
I don't remember, but I'll look that up because I remember something about Superman running around the world in time, but I don't know.
Because like we're seeing, like if you're looking at a star, that star might be dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is dead.
So that's like dead, like the past.
Yes. Yeah. That is obvious. I feel like
but that's because the speed of light. So that's why they say like if you could go the speed of light, you'll actually travel back in time because you're somewhere that you should. There's no way you should be there in that moment in time.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It should have taken you fucking hundreds of years to get
Every time I look at the stars, I'm like, it's so weird because that is not the current star. Like that star.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, right?
No, I think that most of them are dead. I think that we're like whatever we're looking at is not the current state of that star.
Right.
Because it's the speed of light because of the way that the time travels is different. Yeah.
Fucking wild.
It's wild. But yeah, so my trip to Italy, we went to Rome, we went to the Amalfi Coast, we went to Florence and back to Rome. I'll just give you some highlights. I had such a great time in Italy. It was so much fun. But
yeah, you really were thriving there.
We were thriving,
that's the definition.
Yeah. And I think that it was just like, I haven't had that much time off in so long, like in that amount of days in a row. And I was just like, I'm out, like peace out, bye America.
Right.
I'm in Europe now, But we started in Rome. We got to see all like, Trevi Fountain, we saw the Pantheon, we saw all that stuff. Is the Pantheon? Yeah, Pantheon's in Ity. It was funny because we heard somebody say like, "Where's it? When are we going to the Parthenon?" Which is in Greece.
Yeah.
And it was just funny. And now I'm like, wait, which one is it? Went to the Pantheon, and this is actually a funny story. We weren't going to go into the Pantheon, and we're like, fuck it, let's just do it. And we're standing outside waiting for tickets, and I'm wearing like a jumpsuit, brown jumpsuit, and it has spaghetti strap. Not spaghetti, it's like thick spaghetti straps, whatever. And this guy, there's a lot of people selling stuff on the streets there, keeps coming up to me. And he's like shoving these scarves in my face and not saying like,
you want to buy it. He's just shoving it in your face.
Like, and I'm just like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And Nita's mom goes, what? How many fucking times do we have to tell this guy? Whatever. And she's like so mad. It was so funny. But we're like, no. And then come to find out, I need one to get in because it's technically a church. So he was kept showing it to me and to my cousin Jackie because we both had our shoulders showing. And in Italy, you can't show your shoulders in church. So we kept having to, so we're like, oh crap, we have to go back to this guy. How embarrassing. We kept saying, no, whatever. So we go back to him.
Should have just found a different guy selling scarves and shit.
So we go back to him, we buy it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So standing in line, I have my shawl, and the guy comes back up to me and he starts like aggressively yelling at me, and I'm like, wait, what is happening? He's like, yo, you say no, no, and I thought he thought I stole him, and I was like, I bought this, and he's like, yeah, no.
But you bought it from someone else.
And he was like, you keep saying no, and I'm like, Jackie, what is he saying? I'm like, we bought this from him, and she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, get out of my face to him, I'm like, what the heck? Stop yelling at me. And he's like, whatever. He's so mad. But
I don't get it. So you bought it from him, right? Or was it a lookalike?
So then I see the guy I actually bought it from walk by.
No, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And that sounds like really racist of me, but I just wasn't paying attention to who they were.
Yeah, they're Italian. They're not fucking, or was he black?
No, they were Indian.
Okay, yeah. Right.
So that is pretty racist of me, but
they look alike.
They did. Right. They looked alike, yeah. So then I was like, oh shit, he was so mad. He like lost commission on that. But also I was like, if he would have come up to me and been like, you need one to get in.
But obviously doesn't speak English.
Yeah, but he could have been like, you need, or like shoulder,
church,
yeah. Something to like. He was just shoving them in my face. Like, how am I supposed to know? I need it.
Fucking guy.
So but it was so funny. He kept saying, and I kept.
How did you find out you need to be covered? Like you heard someone talk about it?
Yeah.
Or like someone
just
like
somebody in line, right? Yeah. And it was so funny because I literally said what? He kept yelling at me. I'm like, what? Yelling at me? What? Yelling at what? I was like, what is happening right now? I had no idea what was happening. It was so funny. But yeah, all those beautiful monuments we saw in the first 2 days, and then we went to the Amalfi Coast, and man, I could have stayed there for all 2 weeks. Really? I'm not kidding, because we were in between Positano and Amalfi, and we were in Praiano, which is like a smaller little town. So it's 15 minutes from both, and it's the perfect amount of people. It's not like as big as it's not
crowded like that.
It's not as crowded.
But there's enough people where you're not like bored.
Exactly. So we were there, and we had like beach days. On our beach days, we met a bunch of people.
Those beaches are crazy. Like the beach you were at, it's like cliffs.
It's
like
not really beaches.
It's not really a beach. It's like you climb the rocks to get to the water almost, right?
Yeah, so we actually had to climb. So where we were staying, it was like the top, and then we had to climb down 400 stairs to get to the beach. And then, dude, imagine being drunk, walking up 400 stairs, man.
Right.
They have a little bar on the way back that you could
stop at
and get like
a
to-go drink, which we did, yeah, because what the hell, like you can't, But that first, so we went twice, and the first day we went, we got really drunk, Nita and I, and we were literally in the water the entire time with these random people. First, we met with these people from Pittsburgh or something. Mm-hmm. The amount of people that were like, you guys have the thickest accents. Like, you have the thickest accents. I cannot believe how thick you're at. I'm like, okay, this is how normal people talk.
But I like that though.
I know, I do too. But I'm like, no, I can't imagine how I sound to people. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. But we met so many people, and then a boat comes in, and just like a bunch of guys, Nathan and I were like, we had to be boys, because it's like whatever. So we learned how to say like ciao ragazzi, which means like hi boys, whatever.
Yeah.
And they like came into the water with us. None of them were Italian. They were all from Brazil, which is totally fine. They were cool. But yeah, we had like so much fun with those people. It's so fun to meet people from like everywhere around the world.
You guys are so friendly too. Like, of course, you're gonna meet groups of people and shit.
Yeah, it was really fun. But yeah, so that was Amalfi Coast. But that's not all Amalfi brought to me. Amalfi brought me a lot of challenges too.
Yeah.
Nicolette might have told you some of this stuff, but so it's funny because in Rome, my cousin Jackie, she dropped her necklace down like a bidet. And I was like, thank God that's not me, because usually I like am messing shit up and like causing a ruckus. And in Amalfi, I definitely did. So I never take my passport with me when I like go places when I'm out of
right.
country.
You leave it like in the safe or like hidden somewhere.
Somewhere, because I just don't really like.
Yeah, why would you? I never either.
I don't know. Nanta's family does. So they were taking their stuff with them. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do it too, And So we go to the beach day and we put all of our passports in my beach bag. We zip it all up, and we're really responsible. And then we're drinking, Neta's mom and Jackie went up before us at the beach day, and then Neta and I followed them a little bit later. So we're walking up these 400 steps. We're stopping at the halfway bar. We get a drink. We're having the best time. We walk back up, we get ready for the night. We're going to Positano. We're going to see Robert and Liz. We're so excited, we have dinner, and then at dinner, Nita goes, "Oh my God, where's my passport?" And I'm like, "You're so stupid. I have your passport." And I go into my purse. I'm like, "Oh, I only have one actually, so I guess I don't." Open it. It's Neta's.
Oh no.
I'm like, "Oh, it's fine. It's definitely back at the Airbnb. There's no way, And I was like, I swear I remember putting this into this bag, but whatever. I was drunk. Maybe I didn't. And we have dinner. We have drinks with Robert and Liz. It was so fun, so weird being
so
in
awesome. Yeah, running
country
into
with them. But and then we get back, and I'm pretty silent. I'm like, I'm gonna look for my passport first, and if I don't find it, I'll tell Neta. So I look, don't find it. Passport's nowhere to be found. So I'm like, Neta, we can't tell Jackie and your mom yet, but I don't know where my passport is.
Oh my God.
And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, it's not here. It's nowhere to be found. And she's like,
she freaks out.
She's like, okay. And she's like, "We'll find it. We'll find it. It's gotta be here." So she starts looking with me, and she's like, "Oh my!" She's like, "Maybe we dropped it up the stairs because we had 100 steps to get back to our place, And she's like, "I'm gonna pretend I lost my earring, whatever." She's like, "I lost my earring. I'm gonna go check outside." Jackie's like, "Oh no, Nat." I'm like, "Wait till she fucking knows what we actually lost,
Right.
And then we can't find it, so we have to tell them. I'm like, "Okay, don't freak out. I already looked into it. We can go to the embassy when I get to Florence, but I lost my passport." And everyone's just like, "What are we gonna do?" I was like, when I said "get me stuck in Italy," I was just joking. Like, this is a joke, And Jackie was like, "What if it's in the cab? Like, what if you left it in the cab? You paid for the taxi, like in Positano, maybe it's in there." And I was like, "Who knows? Like, I'm gonna do some prayers to Saint Anthony, which is like who you pray to if you lose stuff.
Okay.
If I find it, I find it. If I don't, we'll figure it out. Like, I'm not gonna be stuck in Italy. Can't be, And I did. Nita and I literally sat on the bed and did prayers to Saint Anthony. It was really funny, but there's a little taxi stand by us who we use the entire time. And we go there in the morning and we're like, "Did we lose a passport?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know."
But they do have a lost and found.
They don't have a lost and found. This is Italy. And it's literally a small garage. And that's where,
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, I don't know. Let's check the car." And he checks the car and pulls out my passport.
No way.
"Oh my God.
That's wild. Thank God.
Yeah. Literally, and we're like, hold your breath. What if it's not hers? Open it first.
Right.
I was like, no, if somebody else lost their passport in Italy, that's fucking wild. But yeah, that was the first thing that Amalfi brought me. But there's also another story, but we should reset the cameras.
All right.
So we had to reset the camera, and the camera was already reset because we ran out of memory space, but it's just like us. So welcome
Makes
back.
sense.
Welcome back. So sorry you can't see this for a few minutes there. But yeah, so my first story was I lost my passport in Italy. My second story is, so we had a balcony. It was the best balcony. I was literally seeing the beautiful sea out ahead of me, the sunrise, the sunset the entire time. It was so nice. We stayed out there one night. We were just drinking champagne and listening to music, specifically the Chris Stapleton version of I Hope You Dance. So good. Oh my God, it's so good. But so we're listening to it, and I'm literally just sitting there, sitting with my phone on my knees like this, and just my hands on my knees too, and just looking out at the lights in Positano. You can see everything. You see all these yachts in the water.
This I knew.
Yeah. And then I just make a slight jolt, and my phone, when I say slowly, I mean so slow, starts to tumble, and I'm going after it, and it was the fucking craziest thing. Falls off my balcony that we're sitting on, and we all just stared. We're all just staring, okay? And we just all stare at each other, and I'm like, of course this happens. Of course, because why wouldn't this happen? I just lost my passport.
Right.
I lose my phone and whatever. And the craziest part about it is I didn't see grass for weeks there, This is the one patch of grass that I saw the whole time, and that's where my phone falls. And also, when you're walking up our stairs up to our balcony, it's all concrete. It's all steps. It's all stairs. It's all stuff that can like destroy a phone if it falls from up high, you know? And
so it falls into one place where, like,
it falls in the one place.
Soft spot.
Literally going through the trees and stuff, and we're all looking over it, and no one's saying a word because like we cannot believe this just happened, you know? And Jackie's like, okay, no worries, it's fine. Well, it's okay. She just kept saying okay. Yeah, she's like okay. Just kept saying okay over and over, and I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, where is it? Did it fall all the way? I'm like, it fell through the tree, Jackie. She's like, it fell in the tree. No, I said it fell in the tree, Jackie. She's like, it's in the tree. I'm like, no, not in the tree. It fell in the tree. Whatever. She's like, well, you should have said through the tree. And it was just like so funny. And so whatever, we go down. It's like 2 stories down, basically. And there's it's a concrete wall covering it. They don't have fences there. It's like an actual concrete wall and like a metal door to cover the backyard. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what do we do here? Does somebody live here? It looked vacant, you know? So Jackie's like, let me just call the Airbnb host, see if they own this. I'm like, no, guys, just boost me over this wall. Boost me. Like, I can do it, whatever. And they're like, no, you can't do it. Like, no, I'm like, you guys, I'm athletic. Like, I can do this. Please just let me do this. And we're sitting there for 10 minutes. And for like the first 3, me and it are just sitting there in the silence and the darkness, you know? And besides, I hope you dance back to Staples, and it's fucking playing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll never listen to this song again. And then eventually I convinced them to boost me over this fence, you know? And when I say like there's a concrete wall, it wasn't just like straight. It was slanted. It kind of went like with the steps, you know? And so they're like, how are you going to get back over? So it was lucky because it was slanted. It like met where the grass was. Yeah. So like, I was able to like jump off easily and then jump back on easily. But it was like, there was like a ton of grass so high. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get like bug bites, whatever, you know. I end up getting my phone, and then I have to like scale back on the wall and I get back over. And I was like, oh my God, why was I more relieved to find my phone or to get my phone
than
I was to get the passport? Yeah. I was like, thank God. Oh my gosh.
No damage to the phone, nothing.
Nothing. No new damage, no nothing. But that was the last thing that Amalfi tested me with. Luckily, everything else was smooth sailing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So much fun. And I mean, we had the best fucking food in the world. The pasta. Oh my God.
Yeah, Italian food is
literally had so much pasta and so much pizza and so much prosciutto and so much like bread and so much olive oil. We went on a Tuscany tour and we got to go to this farm and we had like fresh farm food, and it was like the best thing in the world. It was so much fun. The last story I have for you is we were in Florence, and we were not Florence actually. So Florence, it's really interesting because everyone's like, you're gonna love Florence. Florence is gonna be your favorite. Like, you're gonna fall in love with it. So I had like really high expectations, but it wasn't our favorite. It's really weird. We actually really liked Rome a lot more, which I don't know if it's because of the time we went to Florence versus like, because it was like after Amalfi and then we were tired and all the travel, but yeah, we didn't love Florence, and I was expecting like the piazzas there to be a lot of fun, because
piazzas are like
the
parks, like squares. Okay.
Yeah, I was expecting them to be like a lot of fun, specifically the Michelangelo Piazza or Piazza de Michelangelo, whatever, and it wasn't like what we expected. But then, so we didn't get like our piazza experience, which is like dancing in a piazza with a bunch of randos and like having a good time, you know. But our second to last night in Rome, we passed this piazza, and this old man, I sent you guys snaps, is singing country songs like "Country Road, Shake Me Home," you know. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, this is a dream come true. We're in Italy. This man's singing country, and it was like he got this crowd going, and we started dancing. So we got our piazza experience, but it was like such a human experience. It was so fun. So like before we started dancing, we're all like singing along and having a good time. And he's getting all these tips, and you know, everything's going great. And out of nowhere, I'm not joking, these men must have like apparated out of nowhere. A brawl just starts to like form. It wasn't a brawl, it was 2 people. These 2 people start to freaking fight each other. This man is like punching this other guy. He gets on the ground, he starts kicking him. And I'm thinking that the guy that's being kicked is like the victim, but apparently it's like vice versa. You know, he must have instigated or had started or whatever. But for like a good like 10-15 seconds, everyone's just watching, like no one's doing anything, and I'm like, can somebody do something? You know, like what's happening, you know? And the funny part is, like, they came, like, right towards us on the steps. And Neta's mom, she's like, I'm from the Bronx. Like, I don't care. So she's just, like, sitting there. And I'm like, these people are about to run into her, I'm like, guys, get up. Guys, get up. Guys, get up. And Jackie's like, Mom, get up. Mom, get up. And Jackie's standing there. And the guy that's getting his ass beat, this is so funny, actually. The guy that's getting his ass beat grabs onto Jackie's pants.
To get up? Like...
to Jackie's pants, and like her back pocket of her linen pants, dude, and starts like pulling, and Jackie's like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Like, there's like a dog biting her pants,
Yeah.
And she's like, get off me, and she like gets him off, but she was like, are my pants ripped? Cause like whatever. Luckily they didn't like actually like rip to show her ass,
but they sagged,
like,
maybe a little bit,
like the actual pocket was like ripped off of her her pants. I was dying. I'm like, out of all the people there, like that to happen to Jackie is so
that's
funny.
too funny, right?
She was like a dog. She's like, he owes me a new pair of pants. I'm like, yeah, go tell him. So all these like,
were they like drunk?
I'm sure, but like one of the I have a theory. So the guy that was punching him, he was actually really handsome. He was tall. He had like a nice white linen T-shirt on. And he was punching him, and everyone thought like he was a problem at first. And he was like, no, blah, 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 like explaining, And then all the
You're
other
just defending him because he was good looking.
No, I know. And then the other guy, like it was funny because it's all Americans that stepped in to help. It's really funny. They were like, no, you're done. He's like, no, I'm fine. He's like, they're like, you're done. And it was so funny because I'm like, these guys.
Were the guys fighting Italian?
I think the one 100% was from
the white shirt.
Persevere, where the area we were in. Yeah. No, not the white shirt. The
guy getting his ass beat.
Yeah, 100%. The other one, I'm not really quite sure. But it was so funny because when these guys were like intervening, they had like this like, not God complex, but like superhero complex going on. They were like, "You're done, dude.
Yeah,
like
it's over.
You're done.
You're done."
He's like, "Get out of here." And then afterwards, they like dapped each other up, and they were like, "Yeah, he was not staying around." Like like it was just really funny to watch because like they were right in front of us, so we were just watching the whole thing. But the guy that was getting his ass beat came back. So we were all sitting on stairs, basically. Went back into like the middle to sit in the stairs. Like I don't know, and literally the way everybody departed, like he was like smelly SpongeBob. I don't know if you ever watched that episode of SpongeBob, but like everyone just got up and moved. I felt so bad because the vibe was dead. Like the guy had to stop, And we're all like, ugh.
And what did he do? He like walked up the stairs and like continued, or did he like sit on the stairs?
He sat on the stairs. He sat
and just chilled.
Down. He was just like, But then I felt so bad because I'm like, God, men ruin everything. Like we were just having a human experience. Look what this guy does. And whatever. I'm just joking about that. But then like we all like worked together as humans, and like we ended up dancing in the piazza. And then Nanda and I had our piazza experience, and we got to dance in piazzas with a bunch of random people. We did like a conga line and everything.
Yeah.
And it was like so. Yeah,
tight.
It was really fun.
Oh, yeah.
So that was Italy. Oh, I actually also got electrocuted in Italy. When was the last time you got electrocuted?
I remember it was back at my parents' house. Like, one of the outlets where like the outlet covers was removed, and like it was dark, so it was in the basement. So I'm trying to reach like for the light, and my finger went inside and
just
got shot. But it like 15 years, 20 years.
I forgot what it felt like to get electrocuted. Yeah. And I was like, this is my origin story of like my superhero story, because like I'm like, there's electricity going through me. I'm like, Neta, I'm shaking. And she's like, stop, please don't. I'm like,
so what happened?
Nothing.
Well, how'd you get electrocuted?
So I was plugging in my adapter.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that those adapters, they like punch in and punch out and whatever. The American ones, or one of them, the American actually adapter part was out, and I like accidentally touched it while I was pushing it in, and it like
really
because like it was plugged into the wall, or like I think it was plugged into the wall, and I was grabbing it, and I have scars on my thumb.
Do you?
Yeah.
Was it bad, or like a shot? Was it more like a pen?
No, it was like like I was like, oh my God.
Your hair was up, frizzy.
Right? No, but
like Home Alone.
I was like, oh my God, I've been picking at the scars, but now I can't remember. It's this thumb, but they're not there anymore because I've just been picking at them. No, you can't see them anymore. No. Yeah, I guess, but I didn't become anything, so that sucks. Oh, actually, I have one more story. I'm sorry. Oh, A few. I wrote this down. Literally when it happened, I'm like, please write this down. This one guy we were leaving a store and he was talking to like these American people, and he was American. I think he was probably like Italian or French or something. And he was like, where are you from? And they're like, Florida, USA. He goes, what do you say? He's like, oh, Florida, USA. Okay, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. Like, oh, that's fine. Okay, but so we went on this Tuscany tour and we went to Siena, which I don't know anything about. And then we got like a little 45-minute like tour, like walking around with those headphones in and that type of shit.
Right.
Yeah. And at first I was like,
it was like a museum? What is that?
Siena, it's a city. So we were walking around.
But you get a guided tour?
Yeah.
Like headphones where?
Yeah. And
English.
Yeah, well, we had a tour guide.
Oh, okay.
And they had a microphone.
Okay.
And so we could hear them in our ears. Yeah. But it was so cool, and I think you'll really like this. So in Siena, they have different districts. They have 17 districts, and each district is an animal. And so like our tour guide was a beaver, like in the beaver district, okay? And beaver or hedgehog? Hedgehog.
Yeah, hedgehog.
Porcupine.
Okay.
There we go. About porcupine, yeah. She was in the porcupine, and it doesn't matter, like if you have kids and you're from Porcupine, but you have your kids in Forest, which is a rhinoceros, your kids will be Forest. Like they won't be considered Porcupine. So like all their like your district follows you. You're never going to be another district. Like you're born into your district, basically.
Okay.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. So she was telling us about this. She's like, luckily, like my husband's Porcupine, just like me, but my kids are both Forest because we lived there when I had them. And she was like, we also have
it's like zodiac sign, but like from like what district
where
you're born in.
Yeah. So she was like,
it's like Pogues and
the Pogues and the
I guess that's
Kooks.
Rich and like poor, I guess, but still,
yeah. So they have,
but some of the districts are like more bougie than the other districts, probably
100%.
So like they're like, oh, you're fucking
100%.
The ocean or whatever what other districts are there?
There's like dragon,
17, you said, huh?
There's she-wolf, there's caterpillar, there's flamingo, there's goose. Yeah.
But obviously in Italian, like the words
yes, they're in
right,
Italian.
right.
So like porcupine probably sounds a little cooler than,
yeah, right.
You know,
porcupine. Yeah.
So this makes it even cooler. So every year, twice a year, July something and August something, they have a horse race around the town square in the piazza. Okay, and they bring these horses in from somewhere, and they bring these jockeys in from somewhere. The jockeys aren't from Siena; they're just like they're paid to be there, you know. And they have like lotteries, so they'll assign a horse to a district. Okay,
that's tight.
And then the horse and the jockey race on this specific day. And the cool part about it is like she's like, the jockey doesn't really matter. So if the jockey falls off, we don't care. As long as the horse gets to the finish line and gets there first, they can still win the race, you know? So like, because there's like a corner that's like a 45-degree angle. I'm like, how does that even, I don't know how they do that, but whatever. You'll have to look this
like
up.
That's where they'll fall kind of?
Yeah. So she like specifically this year, the horse or the jockey fell off the horse at that corner the first time around the lap, and the horse
still won.
Yeah, that horse won.
Yeah.
So they do it twice a year.
I don't need no man.
I know, exactly, right? They do it twice a year, and I mean, it's like a pride thing. So they get a flag and they get to hang it up in like their district for 3 months after, and they like decorate and they have parties for like 3 months. And she's like,
what the fuck?
So she's like, my kids are from Forest, and Forest won in July, and I haven't seen my kids for since then. Isn't that funny?
Oh my God.
I'm sure they have, but they just like
right. She's saying like they're like nonstop partying, there's shit going down,
celebrating. Yeah. So
no way. How fun is that?
Forest and Goose won this year because they do it twice a year. So they won in July, one in August. So the Forest and Goose won, and they're like they're
one in July and one in August.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty close together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're pretty. Their districts are close together too. So like it's just complete decorated.
Right.
It's so cute. And I was
what's
like,
it decorated like?
So they have like
like banners and fucking like the streets.
They have like the banners up, and then they have these little things hanging over the lights, and it's like a goose or like a forest or like whatever, a tree. Which I don't know why forest is forest, but their symbol is a rhinoceros. So I'm not really sure about that. But that's the way it is. But yeah, Siena's really cool.
That's tight.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back there because it's smaller. not as many people, they like have this like hate against Florence because they were at war for like so long and they still don't really like them. I learned an interesting fact. So Pisa sucks, by the way. If you ever go to Italy and you want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, there was nothing about it to me that was like, oh my God, like this is amazing to see. And like Pisa, the town itself is like kind of garbage. So I really don't recommend doing that. But it was part of our tour.
Like if you have time, do it. But like don't make it an obligation.
Yeah, it was part of our tour. So it was nice. So we went for a little bit and came home, you know. But yeah, it wasn't anything that was shocking. But this is interesting because Pisa's by the water and Florence and Pisa were at war. And because of that, Pisa put sanctions on the salt because they had like access to all the salt, whatever, against Florence. So Florence couldn't the salt was like very rare for them like a long time ago. So they didn't put it in certain things that they didn't need to use it in because it was so rare. So their bread the bread in Florence is so disgusting. No salt, like so bland. And I remember before I even went on this tour, I'm like, ew, they need more salt in this bread. This bread doesn't have any salt.
But you wouldn't I wouldn't think
they still do it.
I wouldn't think though. I'm saying oh, this bread needs more salt though.
No, you would. Trust me, you would. I was like
I didn't know that was like a main ingredient.
Yeah, it is.
You know, in bread.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was like, oh my gosh, and then the guy was like, yeah, if you ever notice the bread in Florence has no salt. They don't use salt in the bread in Florence. And it's like so gross.
It's like doughy. Like, is it just like...
It looks like normal bread.
But what does it taste like? So does it taste like nothing almost? Or does it taste bad?
It's not like...
Like right. It's almost just no flavor.
It's just why would I eat this? Like, I don't need to eat this. Yeah. But it was just
like
funny.
Bland.
I noticed it. And then he was like, if you notice, there's no salt in the bread in Florence because of... And it's crazy because that was however many years ago, but they're still making bread like this now. It's just part of the recipe, you know?
Right.
Which is just so interesting. But yeah, I just want to tell you about Sienna because I thought you would think that's
cool.
No,
that's awesome.
Yeah. We have the wedding to talk about too.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about the wedding besides that it was freaking awesome. We just had such a good time. We all had so much fun.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Samir literally fell asleep on my back on the way home. So we had 4 people in the back seat. Who was it?
That's how you know it's a good time, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we got home. Didn't know who we dropped off.
Nicolette, me, you, Nita in the back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mikkel was also in the car.
In the car, but in the front seat. And then Noelle
was driving.
Noelle was
driving
us. And
which I didn't know nothing. I would have remembered you there.
Yeah.
I remember going to I remember I do remember leaning on you, but I didn't know if I fell asleep or and the next morning I'm like, who took us home? You know, and then she's like, Mikkel was in the car. I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But because of the way we were sitting, I sat up a little bit and I had my my body was folded, so my head was towards my knees, and then Samir just slept on my back. I'll post a picture. It's so funny. I literally and everyone was like, was he really sleeping? I'm like, he was breathing on my back 100%. He was knocked the hell out. Yeah, it was so funny.
So the wedding was dude, fucking I loved it, dude.
Yeah,
awesome. But 2 embarrassing moments.
Oh yeah, yay.
One when Rob yelled at me in the video.
Oh my god.
So because I don't know what Johnny Hope is saying. I'm thinking it's the end of the wedding.
Yeah.
Because lights are on at this point. I think he's giving a speech about Rob, but I didn't realize that that he's giving a speech for Rob or whatever. Because I know they're close or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm telling him no, more a couple
keep
more
going,
real quick.
Going,
and I'm thinking he's gonna finish the speech and walk off the stage. So I'm pretty much trying to say
Encore.
fuck the speech,
Encore,
finish the sing, and then do another, you know. And then Rob turns and shut the fuck up, man, or something like that, you know. But in the moment, I didn't realize he even did. I don't care.
No, yeah. You know what's so funny is me and my mom always say to my mom, please watch and listen to your videos before you post them. You never know.
Right. I don't care. I loved it.
I know.
Loved it, right.
I think it's funny as fuck because it kind of just shows our friendship, you know.
Yeah. I was just
yeah.
I walked back, but then finished what I was saying after. Right when he was done,
yeah.
I went back and was all right.
You kept paying him money. There was one point I was like, please, no more. I'm so tired.
No, I think Nicolette said he was gonna sing regardless. You didn't have to pay him, but
I
was giving him more incentive.
Yeah, keep going.
But we went late.
We went late. Yeah,
we went late. Later. What did we go till 1:30?
I think we went till 1-ish,
1, okay, right.
But you know what's so funny is like we were getting ready to leave. Like I needed to go. Like my mom and dad were staying a little bit longer, or no, they were taking Liz and Robert to the hotel, and I was like, I need to go. So like, who's taking me home? You know, I'm like, perfect. You guys live right by me. And I went to go grab my shoes, and my entire extended family is still sitting at the tables, just like sitting down, talking to each other. I'm like, bye guys. And they're like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know why you guys are still here. Like,
yeah.
Like, honestly, you guys should go home. Like, it is late. Oh my God.
I didn't want to leave. You know that.
No.
And then
fun.
There was another, like I said, there was like another embarrassing moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what was said. I just remember like the next day I'm like, did I make a fool of myself? But so obviously I'm like with the flag.
Oh.
You know, like, so that's cool. I'm happy with all that.
Yeah, that
with the
was
Romanian
funny.
flag.
That was cute.
Like running around and shit like a track star. And
mm-hmm. You and Dre.
Yeah. Dude, that's funny too, because Dre, I didn't realize, like, I was just doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Did you have the Romanian one?
I had the Romanian one.
Yeah.
Like, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew like it was like hype. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew like the Romanians were like loving that shit. You know?
Of course.
Because guys were telling me like, are you fucking Romanian? Like, and I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, you got to be doing like, take control of your shit. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But the guys were happy, like, oh, that's awesome, like, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then Liz's dad was like, thank you so much for like representing like Romania and this and that, you know? And I'm like, dude, I was happy to do it. Like that night he told me. And then he was talking with Tony, your dad. And I just randomly this was like at the end of the night. So they're probably talking about like, oh, like, good job, like, thank you, like, the night was great, like, blah, blah, like, everyone's happy. And I go and, like, join their conversation, and I'm like, dude, like, yeah, fuck yeah, like, everything's, like, I'm belligerent at this point, you know what I mean?
Do you remember any of it?
I don't remember, like,
what actually was said.
I just remember walking away, like, I probably shouldn't have done that, like, you know?
No, they don't remember.
But they know I'm drunk, like, they can tell, like,
my dad
I'm
was
not
drunk
sober
too,
mind.
you know, like, everybody was
yeah, man, fucking great time. And I was tickling your dad and shit.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking,
so
dude,
funny.
great time, man. Great time.
Yeah, there was a point where, like, you and Dre were just, like, freaking, like, the Energizer bunnies.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So, Dre had the Albanian flag, and then I think he switched at some point with, like, the American flag. Like, he had both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I was doing, but I didn't, like,
plan it. You just
definitely didn't plan it, but like didn't kind of realize it was only Romanians like on the dance floor at this point, kind of. Like, it was like 80% Romanians. So but me and Dre are both doing this, and then like Dre's like, where the fuck are all of our friends? It was like 30 minutes. So then I like look around and I'm like, yeah, they're like, we haven't seen our friends in like 45 minutes. God knows where everyone, like, no one, it was just me and Dre, and like Rob and Liz were dancing.
Yeah.
And like all Romanians, and we're like going crazy on the dance.
This is really funny because I think you guys were just so into it because all of us were just like on the outskirts, like, of the actual circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All of
so
us
you were there.
We all saw
but
that.
we only see like, I guess what's like right there in front of us in the middle.
In it, you know? Oh my gosh, that's
dude,
so
fucking
funny.
great time, dude.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that it's like it's done, like that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
It's done. It's
crazy.
But then you get to look forward to like the video and shit. Like we couldn't wait. Like, oh, the day couldn't come any soon. Like
quicker, yeah.
Yeah, like we haven't watched it now in so long, but when we first got it, we watched like 5 times within like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and, you know,
but now like Robert and Liz are living at our house for a little bit while they reno their condo.
Yeah,
it's so
that's kind of fun though.
It is. Last night
for you especially,
because like, love it. Yeah. I imagine I go to Italy, I come back, and my brother doesn't live with me anymore. Hell no, I could not take that. I can't. I have to let it have slow. And that's from Italy.
It's fun because like you got like friends when you go home right now, you know, like obviously your brother, also your friend, and then Liz like Liz. So it's like every time you go home from work, you're like, oh yeah, like you know, and then then you're gonna be alone.
I know it's gonna be
kind of sad.
It's gonna be really sad actually. I don't know.
But we see and like you see everybody.
Yeah. Well, I said
especially your sister and
it's
brother.
weird because I was most like before it came, I was like really emotional about Robert leaving, like not more than Beta. Like I don't know why I was like
maybe because like the last like one.
I think it's because I know I'm gonna be like by myself, you know. But whatever, it is what it is. We're gonna do. But it's funny because one thing because I said slowly slow. You're gonna have to ask Robert to show you a video of their pizza person that taught them how to make pizza. They said slowly slow, something like that. And like now I always say like whenever I'm like relax, like I'm slowly slow. Now that Liz lives with me a little bit, it's fun. Obviously, it's so much fun. But yesterday, me and her were like in my bed. Robert was at like this conference for work, whatever. So we're in my bed. We're watching TV. We're having the best time. It's like 9:00, and Robert texts her and goes, "Can you pick me up?" Because he went with like a group of friends to this conference. He's drunk. They were supposed to drive him. He wants to go earlier. Blah 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 blah. And she goes to me, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What?" I'm like getting up to go to the bathroom, and I stop in my tracks. I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Robert just asked me to pick him up from Dearborn." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Like, because you guys have to split up.
No, I'm like, "Are you going to ask me to go with you?" She's like, "That's exactly what I'm going to do." And I'm like, I'm like, if you were living by yourself in your condo, like I wouldn't have to go. Right. And I went though, because I'm a real one.
Yeah. That's fun too though.
No, it's not. Not when it's a Thursday night and you're in bed watching TV.
Yeah, but 9 p.m. it's not like.
Yeah, but then we got there. Well, we left at
by
like 9.
the time we get there, 10.
We got there at 9:30, so we had to leave. He actually ended up going to Detroit. So we got to Detroit at 10:33, and then we got home at like 11:10.
Right.
And that's just not fun.
Right. You wasted like an hour and a half of TV watching.
Yeah, man. We did continue watching the morning show in the car though, because I was like, I can't stop.
What's the morning show?
It's on Apple TV, and it's about like news anchors. It's pretty good. The way it starts is like it starts with like remember on Good Morning America that one, what's his name, Matt Lauer?
Yeah, sounds right.
Remember when he like it was like he got fired because of sexual harassment and shit.
Okay.
It's kind of based off. That's how it starts. It's based off of that story a little bit.
So it's an actual TV. It's an actual show.
Yeah,
it's not like
Jennifer Aniston's in it. Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, right.
I was.
And they're playing characters.
Yeah, Michael Scott is in it.
Yeah.
What's his real name? Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Yeah, so it's like real people. It's really good. It's pretty intense. It's a good show. I recommend it. Samir's pouring his second Guinness. He's a Guinness man now. Wait, I didn't try it. Oh, okay. My first Guinness on live television.
So, don't drink the foam. You gotta wait a minute.
Oh. It looks good with the foam, though. This, it looks like a coffee with some cream in it. Yeah. Is that called the hops? What is it called?
There's like, they taught us all this at Guinness, but same thing. Like,
you didn't register?
I'm not like taking it all in, you know? Like, but it's like barley. Like there's hops and shit, obviously, and then like there was like 4 different aromas. There was like an aroma station where like literally the smoke is like, I don't know, but it's a hint. It like the flavor. It's like a hint of chocolate and a hint of coffee. So
okay,
you might like it. Like, you know, I know Beta didn't like it. She had like one sip and then down.
Okay,
like,
well I'm very excited to try it then.
Yeah,
we'll just let it do this for a little bit, but I want you to tell a story because I have it written down. I don't recall why I have it written down or how I have it written down, but it says in my notes it says car wash Samir.
Car wash Samir.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, the fucking guy. And I went to go get a car wash today too, and I was like looking to see if it was that same fucking guy.
Oh wait, what?
The guy with the finger where he's like.
Oh, tell it.
So okay, like it was like worse than I explained it too.
Okay.
Like. So the guy, you know, everybody knows when you go get a car wash, like you have to line up your wheels so they like match directly like with the shit that pulls your car.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you'll turn in and you get it perfect and you just go straight in. They'll just tell you like, oh, come, keep coming. You're good, you know? And I'm usually pretty good with that, as I told you guys. But you know, sometimes they'll like point a little left where you just turn your wheel a little left. And then right when they stop pointing, it's like a thing. Like, it's like.
It just goes on. Yeah.
You just know, like, if you get a lot of car washes, you just know. You know, I know Nicolette, she doesn't get car washes. I get car washes for her.
Yeah.
Because she gets nervous at that point, you know, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But then this guy is like, he's not, I don't know if I'm straight, left, or right. Like, he's like going like this. I swear to God, he's like imagine like saying like this, but you're going like this. So he's like the, and then he's like this, like doing like a hang loose and like rock on. Like I'm literally I'm like looking at him, dead in his eyes, and I'm like, what the fuck are you saying, bro? You know? And then I like eventually get up to the point where I have to stop, and he just stopped, and I'm like, are my wheels even on the rail? Like, I don't know where the fuck I'm at.
Go sideways on the car wash.
So obviously I was good, but I'm like looking at him and I start like laughing. Like, I'm like, this guy's fucking, you know, crazy. I don't know. You know, you gotta see what I'm talking about if you're like watching on YouTube. But
that is so. I think I watched that when I was like.
A sip.
Oh, it's done.
So yeah, don't drink the foam.
But how do I not drink the it's just
like
gonna go.
you see like
and then I'm gonna
you
get
see
a
how it
little
goes
mustache.
like that. Yeah, you're gonna have a little mustache. You got to take a big gulp though. Like drink. That's how you get a good one. There you go.
I like that.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Why don't they like it?
I don't know. Like same thing with Nicolette. She had one sip. Didn't like it. No.
Especially fast. So you drink it fast. That's easy to drink.
You have to right. You have to drink. You can't like. I don't know. I don't sip it.
You can't.
That's why I drink it real fast. Like I don't just go.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. It's got to be like every time if you're watching it, it'll go down like an inch. Like.
No wonder the Irish are alcoholics. Oh wow,
that was a bad sip. But like you almost like I'll fill my mouth almost.
No,
like.
I liked that a lot. No, that was good.
Right. You want one?
No. We're gonna.
It was good.
No, we're gonna Blake.
It was really good. I really like it.
We're gonna Blake's to get some cider.
But that's why you should have one.
No.
Have Liz drive or some shit.
Well, yeah, but I have to drive home. I have to get ready really quickly. There's just things. Right. Well, I'll have a Guinness. The next podcast, we'll have a Guinness together if you have any left.
Oh, I keep that shit on deck now. I probably bought like 6-8 packs since I've been back. Yeah.
You know, I have written down here because I learned something while I was in Italy. You know, open sesame.
Yeah.
Like open sesame.
Like the magic shit.
Yeah, right. And like doors open or like whatever. You know, it's open sesame.
No, I did not know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Open sesame. No, I did not know that. I like
crazy?
sesame.
I know, me too.
And we're gonna keep it that way.
It's open sesame to me, but why? Like, why wouldn't it be sesame? Open sesame, like open.
Yeah,
sesame.
that makes sense. Sesame,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Why would it be?
But now it's not
sesame
magical
seed?
Anymore.
I know, but
because like funny? Sesame, like they're just like, hey, open this door up.
Nieta and her family told me that.
That's not an Italian thing. You just learned that while you were over there.
Oh yeah, I just learned it while I was there. Yeah.
I was expecting like an Italian thing.
No
like,
Italian.
It derives from fucking the seed of the bread. Or I don't fucking know.
There's so much history there, though. I've never.
That's what's tight about Europe.
Yeah.
Like American history goes back like 300 years.
Not as long. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then like in Italy, like with the Roman Empire and shit like that. Even Montenegro, even fucking
everywhere.
Like, granted, like Montenegro's history is not like well documented, or like Albanian history is not like really that well documented. But like yeah, like Ireland, like they were fighting wars for like 1,000, like the same war for like 1,000 years and shit. Like
it's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. You go to a castle and like we stayed in one castle that's not like a really tourist attraction, and that was built in like the 1400s.
Yeah, I mean, we were standing literally where Julius Caesar.
That's fucking wild.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so awesome. Yeah, I love that shit.
Like that's crazy. And I've never been a history buff, like ever in my not history buff. I like to learn about it, but I'm not like
into it. You're not listening to YouTube documentaries and shit.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not thinking about the Roman Empire once a week.
Yeah. It's funny. That's so funny.
But how crazy that.
But it's so true.
What that you guys
like
think
guys
about that,
think about it like
that Roman Empire.
But it's always when we think about it, it's in different capacities. We're not thinking about the same thing every time. It's just a lot of things like linked to it. Like the reason I think about it a lot is because like
I know you think about it like every 3 days.
No, maybe I think recently, because somehow
because it's
getting brought up so much now. But like for sure, you could say like at the bare minimum. Like the longest it's gone in my life has probably been like a month.
Wow.
Where like, but it's more so like every week or every couple weeks.
The one time I thought about the Roman Empire is while I was there, like while I was in Rome.
That's so funny. I think about it because like I think about like how it like crumbled almost.
Yeah.
Like how it
collapsed.
More about like how empires like they have their time
and then they collapse.
And then they collapse and then there's like a new reign and and then that makes me think like people don't understand like. We got it so good here in America. Mm-hmm. We have it so fucking good, so privileged as Americans.
Yeah,
we will never understand. But like, reigns end. Mm-hmm. Like, fucking 200 years from now, it might not. There might not even be in America. I swear to God. Like, just think when you're living in it, you think like this is it forever. Yeah, that is not the fucking case. The Roman Empire was number one. They thought they were the shit. Mm-hmm. How about the Chinese motherfucker, Genghis Khan? Mm-hmm. That guy like controlled like half the fucking world type shit, you know, conquered half the world. And like then his reign fell.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden then countries boom popped up.
Yeah.
Like it's not forever, dude.
Yeah.
Like
so I've never been interested in it. And then obviously you go on these tours, you go to these places, you're just like, wow, I do need to learn a little bit more about it. But I was looking at the Pantheon and I was like, how the hell did they build this thing?
Yeah, not in a day.
Not in a day. But the Colosseum was built in 8 years. How in the hell?
Right.
That is fast.
Slave workers and shit probably like.
But that's fast.
Slave labor.
And so, lost technology 110%. Like, there's no way
100%
about it. And then I was like, I've never been a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of get it now that I'm here. Like, I get why people are so flabbergasted and are trying to find, like, any way, how could it have happened? Like, whether it be the aliens or whether it be whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying?
That's for sure. There is lost technology.
100%. Yeah.
It's obviously conspiracy. Like, there's no, like, fact on that.
Yeah, but what?
Because if it was lost, you would find it. Like, they would know, like, this technology was here.
Yeah, but
like they got nothing to point to.
But like think about how much collapses like during those collapses, like how many wars there were, how many people died, how many smart people who made that technology died. Like for example, the dome in Rome, one of the domes, I don't even know which one, one of the domes in Italy, okay, because I went on all these tours and it's hard to register all.
For sure.
One of the domes in Italy, I think Michelangelo had like the
where he painted the ceiling or something.
Not the Sistine Chapel. It's a dome. Okay, it's like a glass dome. Okay, had the blueprints to it, and he ripped them up. He tossed them away because he didn't want anyone to know how to make it. So like, think about how like that's not technology, and I'm sure
it is. It is technology.
Okay, so maybe nowadays like somebody can figure it out, maybe, but like that in itself,
for sure. Now somebody figured out, but maybe it took the next person like another like 100 years or whatever.
Whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just 100%. It's just crazy. I was looking at all these crazy monuments, and the fact that we weren't even going to take a tour of the Colosseum. We missed our tour time for the Vatican, and we were supposed to go early in the morning before it even opened up. Have a tour, and we missed the time because we couldn't find taxi, whatever, and we got rescheduled, whatever, but we weren't supposed to even go to the Coliseum. Like we were just gonna go outside of it, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go to the Coliseum now, we'll come back for our tour for the Vatican at 2:00, so we go to the Coliseum and we're like, okay, maybe we should see how much it is to get in. It's pretty cool out here, so this lady came up to me and was like, want a tour? 50 euros. We're like, shit, why not? Like, whatever, we're spending all our money anyway, here, take it, so we got into the Coliseum, and I was just flabbergasted by the fact that it was built in 8 years, because everything else was like, this took this person 200 years to build. Like all the churches, were built over hundreds of years.
Right.
But this was built in 8 years. That's how long it takes people to build buildings nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the original like sports.
That's crazy.
The Coliseum, like,
well, dude,
entertainment, like the original.
They would just like put like their slaves or their prisoners like in the middle of that thing and let lions go at it or tigers go at it. Like it's crazy. Like people just watch people die.
Rob told me he's like one of the like what do you call him? Like the not king, but
the gladiator.
Like one of the Caesars.
Okay. Was Julius Caesar a gladiator?
I don't think so. He was like aren't you like a Caesar? Isn't his last name like, it's not like his last name is Caesar, right?
I thought it.
I think like if you're like a Caesar, like you're like, I don't know. I think that's like another word for like king or like royal, like president, or like if you're a Caesar, like I don't know. Maybe I'm completely fucking wrong.
We'll have to.
But anyways, he said like one of the like rulers at that time. Like had like
I know what you're trying to say.
He'd have events like he had like
Emperor?
One of like the emperors, whatever. He had like events going on for like 100 days straight.
Yeah.
Rob would know better,
no,
so I shouldn't even probably brought that up because
no,
could have been like 450 days straight.
No, yeah,
of like straight like
yes.
And then the reason they do that is because you're poor, you don't got money, and instead of fighting back against the like government or people that rule over you, they keep you occupied on like all these events, like the circus.
Yeah,
like,
it was like to keep the people happy. Like that was like what whoever built the Coliseum or wanted to build it.
He said they give free bread.
Yeah, they give them free food every now and then.
Like,
yep. Yep. I learned that. And I also
crazy, bro.
Yeah, I learned that there's like different gladiators. So you have the ones that they pay for and then they train for 3 years, and those ones don't fight till death.
Did you watch a Gladiator yet?
I've never watched it.
Dude.
Yeah, so I guess I have to. I heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was honestly blown away by that stuff. I didn't think I was going to like it. I was not expecting much from it. See, expectations are so funny, and that's why I try not to have them, because
just go into it.
You just go into it.
Just go into
because
it.
That's like, if I would have gone into Florence with no expectation of like, this is what it's supposed to be, or this is what,
right.
I probably would have like, maybe I enjoyed myself. I loved Florence. I have no bad things to say about it. It smelled a little bit, but so it is everywhere. And
yeah,
you know,
that's like why when I was talking to like Dom, for example, like we went to Ireland, and then I knew like him and Beta were going to Ireland.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would talk to him, and I'm like, I'm not trying to say anything to you, like, because you're gonna experience it, like, and I don't want to tell you like, oh, like when you get here, like this is gonna happen, and like you're gonna run into this. Like I just don't want to tell you like this was our favorite, because then you're gonna go there and be like,
this isn't it. Yeah,
this isn't it, or it might be your favorite, and then is it your favorite because we said it's like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, you just fucking do it, you know?
It was just crazy because I just had to go back to work this week. Like,
sucks.
like
now I'm back, like mentally.
Yeah.
But honestly, it took like a couple weeks. Which
I thought it was gonna take.
It's usually not the case that long.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually not the case, but it literally took me a couple weeks to like not want to be on vacation. You know, like I've been wanting to go back, like just do like another vacation. You know,
yeah.
but
especially
because
probably when we left too. You know, like that's hard to look at.
Right.
Yeah, that would be shitty because you're like us, like we watched you and we're like, we can't wait to go, but you watched us and you already had
can't wait for them to come back.
Yeah,
that's how it was for us.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome, but
yeah, what a fun summer.
So like, okay, like a lot of people say, I would mention like people would be like, oh, where'd you go on vacation? You know, and I'd be, oh, we went to France for like 5 days, and like when they hear France, they were like, literally almost everybody was like, huh,
about
France.
Paris?
Like, yeah, Paris, France. Like, oh, like, did you like it? You know, or whatever. And then, because they hear about these riots or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like that crossed my mind too before we went. But I have a cousin that lives there. So I called him. I'm like, do we have anything? Like, are we going to run into fucking these riots and shit or whatever? He's like, you're not even going to see it. He's like, it's like, it's like one street out of like thousands of streets. One street, like.
Are they strikes or riots? Like,
it's more like strikes.
Okay.
But like the news like portrayed it like riots, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, it'll be like one street for like 2 hours, like every like other Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Or like every Wednesday.
That's
or whatever,
crazy.
you know? Like he's like, you're not even gonna fucking see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's a strike in Italy too, in Rome, and I was like, oh, are we gonna see it? We saw it like once when we passed by and that was it.
Right.
And then it's crazy, everyone's on freaking strike. The UAW, SAG, all of them, but they're back, so thank goodness.
And like you said, like with expectations, like I didn't go into this trip with any expectations. I really, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking, oh hell yeah, vacation, bad, 21 days.
Yeah.
Fucking chilling.
Yeah, of course.
But like France was really fucking beautiful.
Really, you did like it?
It was fucking unbelievable. Like we would walk down streets, and I'm sure it's the same in like Italy. Like we would walk down the street and like, oh my god, look how fucking beautiful this street is. And then there'd be like another perpendicular street, and we'd be like, now that street is fucking beautiful. So we turned down that, and then the next street we'd be like, oh my god, this one is more.
Get lost.
Every street was more beautiful than the one before it. You know, like And then there's like the I'm not good with names too. Same thing. There's like the Basilique, like a huge, massive church on top of this hill. And same thing. We had to climb like the whole fucking walk was like uphill. You know, and then so we're like. You know, getting our workout in, fucking losing all our carbs and shit, and
that's the best part.
The where the lock is, where we put our lock up. But yeah, no, France was like awesome, and like it was just funny, like how everyone was like, oh, like France, like
because people say Paris is like dirty, you know, but you know,
it was fucking really beautiful. I was like pleasantly surprised, and that's what I mean. Like I didn't have the expectations of it being that beautiful, and it was like way more. Yeah, like there are streets where it's like, for sure, there's streets where you're like, there ain't shit on this fucking street, you know. But like, and same thing. There's like they do like this or what do they call it? Not districts. Do you know? Nicolette.
Boroughs?
No, it's like something with an A. I didn't know the whole time there. I did not get it right once.
Something with an A.
It's like I'm in district. It's like I'm in Nicolette. She probably got her headphones. Yeah, you see. What's not a district in France or Paris? What is it? Arrondissement.
What the hell?
It's like a district. It's another word for district, pretty much. It's like 1 arrondissement, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is that what it
whatever.
means? And that's how the word is?
I don't know if it what I'm saying it translates to, I don't know if it literally translates to district, but.
No, I'm saying that's the word in French.
Yeah, in French.
Oh, okay, got it.
Anyways, like, no, man, France was like really fucking beautiful. And we went to like Saint Germain and shit, you know, which is like maybe like, we were taking like subways and trains and shit. It was fucking awesome. And then you become like a local.
Yeah, it's fun.
So like that first time, like I was fucking up with the tickets.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'd buy like tickets to go to like say Saint Germain or whatever. And we'd have to go like say to like the second, like, you know, like second section of like that subway.
Yeah.
But we accidentally went to the third, and now your ticket is wasted.
Oh no!
So we went to see the lady who like hands out the tickets like 4 times because I'm like I wasted it, you know. And like she was giving them to me for free. She's like, oh my god, like, but she was like super nice. She was actually like really nice, you know. Good. Like then you learn. Then the second day we go there and she's there, and, you're just like, and I knew exactly. I'm like, all right, yeah, like here I need one to get back, like whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's how I felt on the Amalfi Coast in Praiano, because it was so small. So there was just like a cafe that we'd go to every day. We get our stuff. Like I started to learn a little bit of Italian, like so small amount. So like I would be able to like talk to them Italian. We knew the taxi driver people like by their first name. Every time we passed them, they waved at us.
Yeah,
like it was just
tight.
like
that's
fun
tight.
to like have that.
That's what's
experience.
nice about staying in like one place, like
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, like Paris when we stayed for like 5 days, that like became like home. We knew like I'd wake up first thing in the morning, like walk, go get an espresso, smoke a cigarette. I was smoking cigarettes. France, like it was my fucking job. Yeah. You know? Fucking I was like, you have to. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there drink a coffee with a breeze. You know, I'm smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Have a croissant, espresso, and a cigarette every morning. Like every morning. Like even if Nicolette would say she wasn't ready yet, I'll leave.
Yep, you go down.
Like how you said, like you just leave. And
Did you get sick of having to have like a sweet for breakfast? There was a point in the trip in Amalfi where I went down to our little cafe and they had like paninis in the thing, and I was like, can I get that panini sandwich, because I cannot have another freaking
sweet, like a crepe or something. You're saying?
Well, because they have like croissants, which they're cornettos, and they're filled with like
chocolate
and cream, custard, whatever. Or there's like an apple fritter. Or there's like, they don't have.
Right, like you don't want to have a waffle every day for breakfast. Sometimes you want some eggs and like bacon or something.
I want freaking eggs, man.
France, they had eggs though.
I know you guys have eggs because you make them with your pasta. Like I know you have them. Just scramble some up, you know?
Right.
What the hell? It was funny because we were in the car ride from Amalfi to Naples, because we had to take the train to Florence, whatever, and it's a 2-hour car ride. So we're in the taxi I'm in the front seat with Simone, miss him. He was I have a funny story about this too. With Simone, and he was asking us like, what do you eat? Because I'm like, I can't wait to have American breakfast, and just to like our front to them in the back, I'm like, I cannot wait to have hash browns. Like I just need hash browns. I just need eggs, you know. And he's like, what do you eat for breakfast, you know? And we tell him, he's like, and I was like, well, like eggs. And I'm like, scrambled, you know, like trying to explain. And I'm like, and hash browns. And he's like, you know what hash browns are? I'm like, potatoes, shred. And
fried or
yeah. And he was like,
or not fried.
And he's like, sweet potatoes. And I'm like, no, isn't that funny? Like he thought like Americans love like sweet potatoes because it's like such a fad, you know?
Yeah.
Trend. I was like, no, not sweet potatoes. But yeah, it was funny because he was like asking us all these questions. Like, if I go to America, where's the best burger I can buy? And I was like, because we're talking about McDonald's, and he's like, it's not good, right? I was like, I think it's good.
It's fucking fire, dude. It's fucking fire. We had Burger King in Montenegro. They have one in Podgorica now, you know. Fucking, we were happy as shit about that, but
yeah, McDonald's had a breakfast sandwich, and I was like, give me that sandwich.
Right.
Like, I needed breakfast. I could not eat sweets again for breakfast. It was just too much for me. Yeah, I'm not a sweets person for breakfast. That was the one thing where I was like, I mean, obviously if you live there, you live differently. So you have eggs in your house. You can make breakfast if you want.
Right.
But if there was a place that had American breakfast, the way they would like promote the fuck out of it because they know like Americans want to
go there. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And every time
I think, was it the same in Italy? Like, I remember one place we went, and it wasn't like every place, but I noticed when there was one thing with like eggs and like bacon. So I'm like, oh, can I get this, but like no bacon? And they're like, nah, like they couldn't like do it. They were like confused.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, to remove something off the meal?
It wasn't like that.
You know, and I'm like, really. Put it on the side. I'm like, put it on the side or whatever, you know? And then the guy was like so confused. He was like, he was nice too.
But you're like, never mind.
But yeah, and then he was like, okay, like I get what you mean, whatever. And then he brought it and the fucking bacon was on it. And
Right
I give it
on
to
top of
Nicolette. I'm like, you fucking eat it.
Yeah.
I was like, give me 2 croissants. Or some shit like.
Oh my God.
It was like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning. But
that's so funny.
But yeah,
no, but it's so funny because I work for a hospitality group. We own restaurants, and we had this issue where because it's better for the kitchen if the kitchen has the entire order. So appetizers, first course, second course, dessert. Like they want it all. They want to know what they have to make, you know. And we were having this issue at one of our locations here in America, and they were with like verbalizing that to the customers because the customers were like, can we just order appetizers now and then we'll order our stuff later, you know?
Right.
And they were having trouble verbalizing that to people without it being like offensive. Like, no, you can't. Like, we
right, of course, it makes sense. Yeah.
So we were having trouble verbalizing that without it being unhospitable to our guest. And so we go to Italy, and there's a time where I'm like, can we just order? We're gonna order appetizers. We know what we want for appetizers, and she's like, no. We need everything at once. And I'm like, and she's like, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like, whatever.
But you didn't think it was rude at all.
No,
you were
I was just
all
like,
right, cool.
yeah, okay. No, I was like, oh, no worries, yeah. Because I work in hospitality, so I'm like, I get it, don't worry, you know. But like, she didn't give a fuck if she was about to offend us. Like, she's like, oh no, the kitchen needs it all. Like, you know, and I'm like, that's so funny. I'm gonna go home and be like, guys, just tell them this is how it works here. Yeah. Like, this is just how it has to be. But it's just funny the different mentalities, like. They don't care, and here we're like tiptoeing. We're like, how do we say it?
But I think also like Italy, they don't tip, right?
No, obviously
they don't tip.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So they don't have to cater to us like exactly what we want, the way we want it, because they're gonna pay their bill and they're gonna leave, and it doesn't matter.
Really matter, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the one like super rude guy in like France
that you,
I liked, but he was just like, "What do you want?" Like. All right, but he was being like that to every table. We noticed he was like, we were sitting outside. This was by the Eiffel Tower, you know. It was like a beautiful restaurant too. The food was like really good, and it was actually an Italian restaurant. Okay. Like I got like gnocchi there, but like that motherfucker did not give a fuck. The only time he was nice was when he realized I left him like a tip as if you would be to be in America, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, like all right, thanks, man. Like, you know, but like the whole time rude. But I liked like it was like funny.
Yeah.
And he was being rude, and I would like laugh. And like he knew, like he like would like crack a smile almost, like break character. Swear to God, it was almost like he was playing a character.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But
when you said that, because you said that the other day, and I didn't follow up with this, but we were leaving. We were like at the airport, and there was like this big like cafe kiosk thing, and this guy was like taking everyone's orders. Same thing. He was just like doing his job. He's like, "What do you want? This one." Hot, cold, what do you want? You know, and he was just like going, and it was like
that's how the guy was.
And he was like productive and like getting shit done and like whatever, and like it was so funny. And I'm like just laughing, and I'm like, yeah, get your fucking shit. You have to get it done. Like move the way you gotta move. But I could tell some people were like uneasy by it, but I was just like, that's so funny. Like he's just doing his job.
Right. One thing too, real quick, just for like if anybody ever goes to France. And it might be the same with like other countries.
PSA.
But like fashion like areas. If you like France, you know, it's like there's like one district is like all fucking fashion, you know? Take your passport with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because do you know about the VAT tax?
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know about it.
And did you buy something?
We bought something, but we fucked up
because you need your passport number. You need your passport number,
but you need your physical passport too.
Oh, we didn't need that. You just need your number for us.
Oh, really? Well, Did you get your 20% back?
Well, I'll tell you what happened, but go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't know none of this.
Oh, you didn't know any of it?
I didn't know any of it. Okay. I just didn't know. So whatever, we go shopping, blah, blah, we buy something. But she was like, okay, like passport or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I don't got my fucking passport on me because I got it like locked in the safe or whatever, you know? And she's like, oh, like you need like your passport number, like whatever. And I'm like, oh, I got a picture of it. But the only picture I had, my old passport.
Oh, it's not the same number?
No, it's a different number. Yeah, it's a different number. So like I'm like worried. I'm like, are they gonna notice like it's expired or whatever? So they're like, okay, like they jot down all the information, like put it on the computer, and then like I pay, you know, and then they're like, okay, like, but you need to come back with your physical passport for us to give you like
the
paperwork for you to get 20% back, which 20% is fucking a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you're buying something expensive, you know? But I made sure I paid first, secured the bag.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I was like, oh, well, that passport is expired. I was like, so I'm going to come back like with my like new passport. But I ended up not going back because like we went to Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were closed. Like we went Saturday, they were closed Sunday, and then Monday we were going to Disney World. I'm like, fuck.
Isn't it only over a certain amount of money, like dollars?
$10,000, $20,000 doesn't matter.
No,
you get
but
20%.
I'm saying like it's like you have to hit a certain amount to get the tax back or something.
Maybe.
I think it's like
that I don't
200
know
or something.
That I don't know. I think so because the reason they need your passport is because you have to claim it.
Yeah.
So for example, when you turn that VAT form in,
yeah,
you get 20% back, but America might charge you 5%. So, but that's like you're getting 15% off.
Yeah.
And they don't overcharge. The thing is, they're not charging you. When we went and like bought what we bought, it was fucking way cheaper already than like if you well, technically you can't buy that in the, there's like 2 locations in like America, but what I mean is the prices are way cheaper there to begin with.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, 20% off.
Yeah, it's a nice discount.
Like that's like ridiculous. I couldn't believe it, you know. And then I was like, I gotta like tell people.
Yeah.
Like,
so
watch, make sure take your passport.
It's really popular because on TikTok, like everybody learned about it. Yeah. So I knew about it, and we went to Prada and we bought some glasses. And the guy just like said like you just need your just passport number. We just filled out the stuff ourselves.
Oh, okay.
And you just fill it out electronically, and then when you go to the airport, you just give them a passport. They scan it, and then the system already knows. It already knows, and then it goes. You can have it direct deposited back into your bank account. So that's like the way I set it up.
Right.
So I'm in line and I do it, and it says like passport number not recognized. I'm like, what the hell? Like, that's weird. I like had my passport out, and he's looking. He's like, oh, it doesn't match. The number was like flipped, like the 2 and the 4 or something.
Oh my god!
And I inputted the information, so it's my bad. Like it's not Prada's fault, but so I didn't get my money back, which is the moral of the story. But whatever. It ended up being like $46. So I mean, I'm not gonna. They're like, you can come. They're like, what time does your flight end? And
you were just like, fuck it.
And I'm like 11. He's like, well, Prada opens at 10. I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
You know? He's like, Prada opens at 10, so we can call them and see if they can fix it. I was like, no, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Right.
But that was like my last straw. I'm like, get me out of this fucking country. I just can't seem to function properly here. You know, I'm messing up, dropping my phone, losing my passport, messing up my passport number, so on and so forth. But
I think it has because like they want you to like claim it.
I don't know.
Like you know when you come back, you like fill out that form, which we actually didn't have to do from Ireland. We had no form to fill out. Did you guys have to fill out? You know how they pass them out on the planes? From Montenegro, it was always the case.
I don't remember that.
You don't? Yeah, I was confused.
I think that
by
maybe
that.
Maybe it's an old thing.
That might be an old thing, right?
Yeah.
That might be an old thing. But I remember like 5 years ago, on the plane, they pass them out while you're still on the plane. Like fill out these forms, and you have to claim like
the stuff you.
Did you buy anything, or did you touch farm animals? Did you fucking remember that?
No,
you don't remember those forms?
Like I don't remember doing that in my scene. I went in 2019.
2019. I went in like 2018. I mean, unless they fucking changed it literally that year.
I don't know, but everybody is like always so freaked out about customs. I never get worried about customs. The only
American customs I love.
Yeah, that's
I love American
easy,
customs because like
easy.
we're home.
Yeah,
like,
and they're like,
America.
Bring anything back? I'm like, I got some oil in my backpack, and that's about it. And they're like, okay, bye. I'm like, okay. It's so funny because I saw this thing and it was like, don't sneak me in. It's like a freaking parrot. I'm like, how you about to sneak a parrot into the U.S.? Like, put it in your backpack. It's just gonna be mocking you the entire time. Yeah, no, we didn't have to do that, but yeah, I was kind of upset about the passport thing, but I'm like, this cannot be the reason that I'm upset going home right now. Who cares,
right,
but
for sure.
It really was just a cherry on top. We wanted a breakfast sandwich like from McDonald's in the airport at Italy, and like where our terminal was, there was no McDonald's. I was so mad.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
So then we got like this chicken sandwich. I messed up. I should have just got my last like prosciutto and mozzarella sandwich like a normal person. I mean, it was 7 a.m.
Did you ever have Chick-fil-A breakfast?
No.
Fire.
I've never actually.
Biscuit with chicken?
I've had Chick-fil-A once.
What?
One time. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know like Chick-fil-A sauce. Like I eat that shit.
Yeah,
but like I haven't.
That shit we got it.
Yeah, in the bottle.
In the fridge, yeah.
Yeah, but I've never actually like.
How did you only have it once?
I had it.
Like at Somerset?
No, actually, I had it in Milwaukee the first time.
First and only time.
My first and only time. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think I can't recall.
Did you just not care for it, or?
It just had like chicken nuggets. So I was just like, okay. And I'm not like a fast food person. Like my fast food is usually Subway, or like if we're gonna have pizza as like a friend group, I'll eat pizza.
Right.
I don't ever like stop at McDonald's for myself, or stop at Chick-fil-A or crave Chick-fil-A or anything like that, or McDonald's. But
if I'm on Hall Road,
Is the line still really crazy over there?
No. And even if it is, like, if you're like, holy shit, that's a big line, they're
fast.
so efficient that it's like fast regardless.
You know what's so funny is this is why you just don't, you should not judge people or like processes, because when we were in Italy, every time we always had reservations. Jackie was on that shit. So every time we went, we would have a reservation, and then they would like do something with it, or like if we didn't have a reservation, we'd put our name in, and like I was like, they probably didn't even listen to us. They probably didn't write our name down. Like, this process looks like it's not gonna work. They were on their shit there. Like, they knew how to get people in and out of the door so efficiently. Like, I was just so flabbergasted by them. Like, I need to like take some notes here because they were so efficient.
Yeah,
I was shocked, and not like in the sense of you have to like beg for your check, basically, because you know, like they don't bring you your check in Italy, or in Europe, because they don't care.
In Europe, they don't.
They don't care.
But Montenegro brings it to you
before,
while you order, pretty much while you order. Like, they'll bring you like 7 receipts. Like, if you order like a coffee, they bring you a receipt. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So like at the end of the time, so you'll literally be like you just round everything up. So it'll be like 470. I'll be like, all right, 5. All right, 620. I'll be like, all right, 7.
Oh my God.
So everything,
I forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so you'd order you'd have like a whole meal, and like order like an extra Coke,
and they would bring
you like $1.70 for like whatever. And Montenegro is
the only place,
unbelievably cheap,
dude.
And insane. I forget it every time. Like, I know that, I know it because I say it all the time. Yeah. But when you go, you literally, I cannot fucking believe it.
It's insane. And even like, okay, so like Italy, like the meals are cheap. So like when you go out to eat, you're paying like such a good price for the meal you're about to eat, compared to like America, you know. But it's not like flabbergasting how cheap it is. Montenegro is so cheap, it's insane. Yeah, it's in Albania too. Like, it's insane,
bro. I got a haircut, fresh one too.
Yeah, you liked it?
I loved it. You know, Nicola said it was like way too short. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't.
It was like, it was like the shortest it's ever been, like on the sides, you know?
Okay.
The guy goes, €4, like, got their euro or whatever. And I'm like, €4? I give him a 20. I'm like, you're good. He's like, no, man. I'm like, no. I was like, this haircut costs $40 in the fucking States. You know what I mean? I'm like, fucking keep the change. You know what I mean?
I just don't.
But like €4, like,
I mean, I guess,
but they don't make
the cost
money.
of cost of living. So like, €4 is fine for him because he's not gonna have to buy like something for however much that he won't afford. You know? Yeah. Right.
But like, and then like I would go to fucking lunch or dinner with like Nicolette and like 10 of my cousins. In the like, everyone eats and like drinks, and they know, like, they're not like, they know who's taking care of it. You know what I mean? So like, they're ordering whatever the fuck they want, and the bill will be like, say like 8 people, the bill will be like $52.
Well, yeah, man. Every time we went out to eat, I was like, we're doing appetizers, we're having dinner, we're also having dessert. And we're having drinks. Like, I would never, like, obviously, like, I would do it here if I really, really wanted to. But, like, that's not my go-to. Every time we sat down at a restaurant in Italy, I'm like,
let's try this. This, you wanted to indulge.
I'm like, come on. And it wasn't just because, like, I'm on vacation, like, whatever. It was like, this is so cheap, like, we have to do that.
Or you're talking about Montenegro specifically?
I'm still talking about Italy, too.
Oh, Italy was cheap, too?
I mean, it wasn't, like, where I was like, it's so cheap how Montenegro is.
Right.
It's not like $1 for, you know, it's still, it's still like, you still have to pay, but it's compared to here, like, you get a side of fries here, it's $8. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You should be
like France, like an espresso would be like $3.50.
Okay.
And in Montenegro, an espresso was like $1.20.
Okay, yeah. So in Italy, espressos were not $3.50. In Italy, they were like $1.
Really? Yeah.
Or €1.
France was like expensive.
Yeah. You know? Well, but that's
why. But it wasn't like shockingly, like, it wasn't like, holy shit, like this much more. It was like, just say a little more than America. And then, but Ireland was like identical to like America. Okay. Ireland was like identical to America, but Montenegro, you know how that is.
But yeah, in Italy, we would get coffees and we'd get like a cornetto, and it would be like cheaper than one coffee here, you know? So it was nice. Like those little, I feel like the little things were like just very cheap, you know, or like Coke is still $1. Like,
so like you go to a restaurant. I was going to say you go to an Italian restaurant, but over there it's just a restaurant.
Yeah, just a restaurant.
Like, how much is like an Alfredo, like a chicken Alfredo pasta or whatever?
So I would say like range from like $8 to $11.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap. I mean,
like
right?
Because I saw some pastas that were like $8 to $11 to $12. And I'm like, that's cheap. Because like here, a pasta
would be like $16, $17.
$16, $17.
Right.
Yeah. Especially if it has like chicken in it.
Right. Yeah. Or like add chicken, another $4 or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I had so much pasta. Like I never need to eat pasta again. I'm not joking.
Right.
Like,
right.
I'm so pasta'd out. It's crazy. But I wouldn't stop because I'm like, I'm never going to eat this much pasta in my life. Like I just need to eat it. I need to just go hard. And
right.
It's so good.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I have this pesto pasta from this place called That's Amore. And
yeah, I remember you guys posted pictures of it.
So
Liz and
good.
Rob ended up going to like a different day, right?
Yep. It's in Rome. So if anyone ever goes to Rome, go to That's Amore. It's so good. But we went on our first night, and then it was like during the day, and Neta's mom and Jackie were sleeping. They had to take a nap. Neta and I were like, let's just go out. So we went back to That's Amore. We had an appetizer, and we had some drinks and like whatever. And then we went back again when we got back to Rome, because we went to Rome twice. So we started in Rome and we ended in Rome.
Right.
And so we went there 3 times. And then they have this like sandwich restaurant there. They have it in Rome. They have it in Florence, and they have
it's like a chain.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it is. And they have one in New York too, but it's not the same. That's what I hear. It's not the same.
Right.
But oh my God, we went there 5 times. We went 5 times on our trip, and every time I went, I was like, okay, should I try a new one, or should I like just stick with what I know?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So we got like one called it's Tartufo 3, and Tartufo means truffle in Italian. And so we had that, and it's just like, you can't eat it, but it's salami. It's like a certain type of salami. It's, I don't know what type of cheese it is, and they put like honey on it. That's all. 3 ingredients. It's so freaking good. I had another one called like the Boss. I don't know what was in it, but it was good. It was a bunch of meat. But then I had a vegetarian one, and I'm like, why'd I do that?
Yeah, right.
And it had like pistachio actually.
That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah. Pistachio cream in it, and it was not good, and I didn't like it at all, and it was really sad. So, stick with what you know is the
right.
moral
Sometimes
of that
right,
story.
Right.
Yeah.
There was this one chain we went to in Ireland. Horrible with names, and it's funny because like it's like sad to say that was like my favorite meal in Ireland,
and you don't remember
like I had fish and all that, and like everything was really good, but it was like a burger chain.
Oh yeah, you guys were saying, yeah,
it was like Five Guys. It was our first day in like Ireland, so like we got ready at the hotel, whatever. We walked around, stopped at like a bar, whatever. And this place was like close to the hotel, And we're like, fuck it, let's try it out, like whatever. And my God, it was so fucking good. It was like the equivalent of like Five Guys. They have Five Guys there too, which is funny. We saw it in like Cork. Yeah, they have Five Guys there for sure. But I forgot what this fucking place is called. I'm fucking horrible. My God, I couldn't. And it was like half the price of Five Guys. Like Five Guys is fucking expensive.
It is expensive,
fuck,
yeah.
Like,
yeah, it is.
It's like $40 for me, Nicolette.
Yeah,
like for a burger, bro, and
Mm-hmm.
we share a fry because they give you like extra fries and shit. Like,
yeah, that's a lot.
Holy
of money.
shit! But anyways,
it was good.
But man, it was so fucking good.
Dude, I wanted a burger so bad in Italy. I just don't get it. I'm like, you guys have ground beef. Just make a burger.
Right. They no burgers anywhere, huh?
I could not find like a good burger. So we were in Amalfi, and Nathan and I were splitting, like they had like a burgers page. So I'm like, it has to be like real burgers, And I remember one time I got a burger in Montenegro, and it was legit like a slab of meat. And
yeah. But I fuck with them though.
I don't really.
I fuck with them.
Like
I low key wanted.
Like
I didn't eat it.
A Serbian burger or something like that.
It's fire though. I fuck with it. And the bread is not like buns.
Is that a bun?
It's a bread. They cut it, and it's like
it's good. But when you want a burger, that's not a burger.
Right, of course. But I fucked with it though.
Yeah, but yeah, I couldn't find a good one. And when we were in Amalfi, me and Nata like ordered and went to split it, and it wasn't like a real burger. I just wanted a fucking cheeseburger,
Right.
But
cheeseburger is my favorite. That's like my favorite fucking meal.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
What time is it?
It's I gotta go. We were going to Blake's tonight. Gotta go get ready.
This is perfect. Me and the boys are going golfing.
What time?
It's simulator. 8:00.
Nice.
So that's perfect.
All right. Well, it's good to be back.
Yeah. It's good to have the whole crew back.
Yes.
Do we have any plans? Like, I know.
I want to actually have a Harry Potter night. Like,
I'm down for that.
100%.
Like a whole day, like marathon. You're saying?
Maybe.
Yeah, like
we can pick like
because we've
favorites.
all watched it. Well, no, what we actually can do, I think, because like we've all watched them.
Fast forward.
Not even fast forward, but I'm saying like play it. You're like, oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. You're like, yeah, right. No, absolutely not. What I'm saying is we could like say we get together one morning, play it,
and talk,
and we can fuck around the whole time. Like we can like.
Yeah.
leave for all we care, you know, because we've all watched them, you know, and like come back like and it's still on, you know, like we could just have it playing.
But I do want to do that. I hear, I'm gonna put it out in the universe. I hear Dre's having a Halloween party.
He is. We spoke about it last night.
Yeah, so we're gonna have that coming up pretty soon.
I can't fucking wait. The 28th.
The 28th.
Yeah.
That's a month before my birthday.
Right.
Nice.
And then we're gonna still do
We're gonna have our November birthday party. We're gonna do something about that. We're gonna do Lions game.
We're gonna do that.
Yep. We have a lot to look forward to. We have life to look forward to.
Yeah, fuck yeah. You can have fun in America too, guys.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can have fun here too. But honestly, like, I loved Italy so much, and I could have probably stayed like another 2 weeks. Dead serious.
For sure.
If you stay in
Ireland, I could have stayed.
If you stay in one spot, it's so much easier to like it, you know. But it also just affirms how great life is because I still miss my people here. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, I mean, I honestly didn't think about here for a whole week while I was there. Like,
I didn't think about here at all.
I didn't care really at all. But like, I just like know, like when you, or actually I didn't really care at all. I wasn't homesick at all. But when you're in the airport and you're about to go home, I'm like,
I just want to be home. Like it's like a nice, like it's nice.
Yeah, like I get to go home to my
when you're gone that long.
Yeah, and like my friends, like we have such great friends. We have such great family. Like it's so nice to like have something great to come home to, and not have to just completely dread that the trip is over. You know? Right. So anyway, good to be back. Thanks for listening, and thanks for wanting us to come back. I'm gonna also say this is the start of season 3. There's no reason to do 5 more episodes of season 2.
No, fuck that. This is season 3.
Season 3, we're back.
And we're gonna have like now we're gonna start having, I guess, repeating guests.
Yeah.
Because like we want to talk to Rob and Liz.
Yeah. Why? Who cares about them, honestly?
The wedding and shit like that. I guess honeymoon, their experience.
No,
right? Obviously. Yeah. And then like Dom and Beta would be nice to have.
Yeah, we'll have everybody back on.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Love you all. Sorry about the mistake. We'll have a non-mistake episode.
Right. For sure.
Okay. Bye.